trying to find out what this book is all about, and I see some language that looks a little bit like this language on the door. Let me see what this place is. I don't know if I've ever been in this place. This is an unusual place. We're close to the church, but not in the church at all. This is another whole building in the church. Let me go in here and see if I can find somebody to help out and see if I can. Yes, Jean, Alan.
Hello.
How you doing today?
I can't shake your hand,
that's
I'm
all right.
sorry.
Especially not in here. This looks like a very special place. I'm trying to get somebody to be able to read this book to me.
Oh
Do
my
you know anything about
I'm
this?
familiar with that book,
Okay.
and I know about the identity of Jesus Christ, but you know what? That is a deep book, and it's precious,
Okay.
but I have an interpreter who speaks excellent English and Spanish.
Now you have an interpreter. Tell me a little bit about what you do here.
Okay, thank you. As you can see, this clinic is called the Good Shepherd's Clinic, and this clinic is dedicated to the Lord Jesus Christ for going out and taking care of the sheep in his fold.
Oh, the Good Shepherd.
The
Okay,
Good Shepherd,
yeah.
and no one is to be left out. And there are many in our community who have been left out of medical care because they are not accepted into other clinics.
How long has this been in operation?
We started this ministry at First Baptist Church in 1993, but it was an endeavor of a group of Christian medical professionals who wanted to come together and minister to the people who were falling through the cracks.
Okay.
So all of the churches are welcome to help support us, but we're not in the budget of any of the churches in Rowan County of any denomination.
Oh, I see.
However, we are most grateful to First Baptist Church family because when they bought the old YMCA, renamed it the Family Ministry Center, they knew that this ministry was precious, and they said, you will have a home. And so they gave us the old racquetball area that the men used at the YMCA.
So this used to be something else, and you've redone it. I see Gary over here. Gary helps out too.
Yes, he does. He's my left and right hand.
I said, can you show us around a little bit? I see somebody back here too.
Here with the bikes up here, and the locker room for the men's fitness.
Oh, is that right?
Right here.
He sounds like he's been here before, and he's here now.
Yes, this is-
But you got a bag with the tag on this, and you could get the bag, and then you could put your name. I mean, but it had a number, and so you put your clothes and then throw it in a bag, and then wash it, and they would hang it on these racks in this room here.
Did this man come with the building?
Yes, he does.
Now he looks like he's helping out today too. What does he
Yes,
do?
he's our chief pharmacist.
This is
And
Steve
he's
Ford.
filling all of the drugs for the diabetes patients that were seen last evening. And then they will come back later in the week to pick up their pharmaceutical needs.
Going
And
in, would it be possible?
this is our lobby area. And as the patients come in, they sign in with me. And one by one, our 3 nurses call them back and triage them from 4 until 5 every Thursday afternoon. And then they're welcome to sit back in the lobby again. And when the doctor arrives, then we begin to fill up the 3 patient rooms, and the doctor sees them. Their charts are left here,
Okay, all
and
right.
Steve begins to fill the medications.
This is the records of what they need and
Correct.
what problems they're having.
And they usually are able to see the doctor and get their meds all in the same evening. But now with COVID and trying to safe distance, and we're just now beginning to see patients this week,
And all the
before
medicines
any
are
of
in
the
here.
other doctors are doing it.
Oh, I see.
We're having to change up our protocol.
Okay.
But normally they would get everything
Okay.
in one
All
night.
right.
And I'll let you just step into the
Yeah.
pharmacy and take a quick look
So
at
all the
that.
medicines they might need are in here?
Everything. Steve orders all of our medications. He charts everything. He inventories everything, and he keeps all the records for the pharmacy board and the U.S. government. We have to have a license and operate in all areas of medical practice as any other clinic
Now,
would.
speaking of medical practice, this next room down here looks really
I'm going to welcome
interesting.
you into the most fearful room.
Oh, this
This is the room that is the most feared.
Oh, I see.
But when you're hurting so bad with your tooth and you're ready to pull it yourself,
Oh, my
a
goodness.
dentist looks very nice.
Yes. We'll go in here and see now.
Once a month, we have an eye clinic, and they will sit in the eye chair, and the eye doctors treat them there.
Okay, right
When
here.
they're here for the dentist, this is where they will have their teeth cleaned. This is the hygiene
Oh,
area.
this is so they can lay back and dentists see them.
And then, if they need fillings or extractions,
Ooh, then they
to
get real
visit
serious here.
Dr. John Kessler, another member of First Baptist Church.
Ah.
And we x-ray, fill, and extract.
Dr. John does that. We have a lot of members of our church here.
A lot of members of First
Excellent.
Baptist Church
I
are
think you've got
here.
people from all over.
Yes,
Too. Excellent.
people throughout the entire medical community help us, but a good number of them are First Baptist members.
This is like the brains of the
Yes.
operation. right
Now,
here.
this is where the doctors will sit and chart. This area right here is the break room.
Okay.
You must remember that these doctors and volunteers, interpreters, everyone who steps into this clinic every Thursday is a volunteer. Many of them come every single week.
So they
Some
don't
of
get paid
them-
for their work.
They don't
here.
get paid at all. And some rotate like monthly or every other month. But when they come straight from work and or school.
Oh, I see.
They've probably not had time for lunch,
Uh-huh.
and we're working through the dinner hour.
Yes.
And we don't want anyone passing out, so Gary is the chef, and we
Uh-huh.
feed our volunteers
Oh,
every
I
night.
see. And you've got three, one, two,
We have three patient
exam
rooms. We have refrigerators so that we can keep the insulin for our diabetics.
Okay.
And we're most blessed that we have two A1C machines. We can check the A1C right on site for our
That's for blood.
diabetics.
Okay.
And it costs a lot of money, but we are grateful to the Lord that He sends people who just continue to bless our clinic with the funds that we need to purchase everything that we need to
It
take
sounds like
care
you all
of
do a
Jesus'
lot of
lambs.
things. That's great.
Yes,
That's
a lot.
great. And there's more to it than that?
There's more, and we're going to take you to
Go
the
this way.
most important room because you're going to be asked to get specimens.
Oh, uh-huh.
And you're also going to need to relieve yourself.
Okay. You don't stop being
Because
human in
you're-
here.
Because you're here for a long time, from 4 until about 7 or
This is
7:30.
Dr. Thomas Ginn.
Oh,
I know
and
him.
look,
Oh,
here's
look, we have
Miss
another member of the
Wanda.
church.
This is our nurse who's specially certified in taking care of diabetes patients. And she and Dr. Ginn and Sue Moore operate our diabetes clinic the first Thursday night of every month. And today, she's collecting up insulin and needles.
Now, Miss Wanda's in disguise because the children know her from another setting. I know. Used to teach our Sunday school, to be a Sunday school director for the children.
Can you
so-
lower your beat
Never
just a
know, you
second?
might see.
See, there she is.
Oh, this is a 3-month supply of insulin for one of our patients.
And that's just one patient.
That keeps them very healthy. Boy, you see a lot of people in
We
one
see a
ministry.
lot of people. And Dr. Ginn was here last evening, and I'm so very proud of him and Wanda. The doctors in their own practices are still doing telephone visits. They're not seeing their patients in person, but they love the Lord so much. They went ahead and stepped out in faith, took the risk, and we're seeing patients in our clinic now and just praying that the Lord will take care of all of us because all of us are in the high risk.
I see. And you know, I came in here because I got this book and I can't read this book, but I noticed you have a lot of signs that are written in English and then this language right here. Do you see a lot of Spanish?
29 different countries
29.
are represented here. And of the 29, about 26 of them are Spanish-speaking countries.
Oh, I see.
So our Spanish interpreters are vital to this clinic. We could get nothing done without our interpreters.
You know, there's a story in the Bible about a time, it was after Pentecost, where somebody was praying, and Peter was preaching, and everybody came from all different places of the world that they knew it. And then suddenly, kind of like here, I guess, they're all understood. The people understand each other. And it sounds like that's what you all do here, even though they may come from a different country.
Right.
And through your interpreters. Do you know, I wonder if there's an interpreter here now, do
You know what? God is faithful, and He provides us with all of our interpreters, and one is here especially for you
Really?
today
Oh.
to help you. She has the biggest heart. I call her my little stick of dynamite.
Your stick of dynamite?
Her
She
name
must
is
be a
Clara.
fiery.
Oh,
Wait
she's
a
a
minute.
fiery little thing.
Clara. Now, I know a Clara who is a member of our church.
Oh, First Baptist Church knows Miss Clara Huff.
Oh, I
And
see.
she can huff and puff the gospel. let
She's
me
here
tell you.
today?
She's here today.
Could you introduce me to
Let
her?
me
Let
take
me
you
see
to
where
her.
she is.
Miss Clara, I have a new member of our clinic that needs some help. Can you help me
Well,
interpret with them?
I will try.
Miss Clara, thank you. First of all, thank you,
You're most
Jean
welcome.
and Gary and all your staff for the medical part of this. I do appreciate that, what you do here, and you've done it for a long time. You do it very, very well.
Thank you.
And just knowing that First Baptist Church and the children of First Baptist Church are supporting this and knowledge about this, we're hoping and we're glad that you invited us over here
Oh, thank you.
so we can know a little bit more about the work here.
Thank you.
Well, thank you
On
so much.
behalf of the 97 volunteers that I coordinate, the 275 unique patients, each patient, plus all of their families and their children, I want to say thank you that you would spotlight this ministry because it is for the Lord's glory. We do it for Him, and He does the work. We are privileged to do it. And without our interpreters, we would be speechless. So I'm going to close
Oh,
my
I get
little
it.
mouth, and I'm going to let her now speak.
You'd be speechless, I get it.
Thank you so very, very
Thank
much.
you.
We appreciate it.
Thank
God
you,
bless
Miss
y'all.
Jean. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
if the children at First Baptist Church would like to be involved in this ministry, Miss Claire and I've got a list of ideas.
Oh, thank you so
Have a
much,
good
Miss
visit.
Jean. I understand it's Spanish, and I understand that you know Spanish, so you can help me understand
Okay.
this book. This book you were telling me is, the title of this book, by the way, is
Overcome.
Overcome. Because
yeah.
it's like the movie that we showed last
Yes,
year.
yes,
Okay, this is the story of that.
yeah.
Because I had no idea what that says, and this right here is,
The
what does that
identity
say?
of Christ.
Okay? So you can read this. I wonder, Miss Clara, I know we don't have a whole lot of time. Could you teach me some Spanish?
Okay, I think I can teach you a
All
little bit
right.
of Spanish.
Would you like to sit down and how we can do this?
Our work here with the women, I came as an interpreter.
Uh-huh.
And I found out that there were lots of children who came. And so I started working with the children and doing some interpreting also.
Uh-huh.
So I have to know how to speak Spanish, and I do because I was a missionary in Chile for 32 years.
And they speak Spanish in Chile?
And they speak Spanish
For
in
how
Chile.
many years?
32.
You must have started when you were just
Yeah.
a child.
And this is a song that we sing here. Oh, God is so good.
Yes.
And this Dios is God.
Okay.
Bueno is good. So you can read this sentence. Yes, God is good.
Si Dios es bueno.
Okay. Si Dios es bueno. Si Dios es bueno. Si Dios es bueno. Dios es bueno para mí. That's
Oh,
for me.
thank you
Isn't
so
that
much.
good? And you probably know your numbers in Spanish. Most of our children know how
Oh.
to count in Spanish if you talk to any children in our church.
Uh-huh.
But one of the main things that we do, we use the Evangel Cube also. And this is so interesting that the children, they can move these cubes around and tell and learn about what Jesus Christ did on the cross.
And
for
they
us.
do that in the language
Yes,
that they
it's-
understand.
Yes, we do it in Spanish. Isabel and I do the work here with the children.
Oh,
And with the
Isabel is a member of our
mothers.
church also.
And when the
Yes.
parents, some of the mothers come and they sit here at this table, and we have the children on one side and some mothers on this side who listen.
So
And they may
everybody
not,
hears.
they'll pretend they're not listening, but they are listening to us talk with the children about
That's
Jesus.
the best way to hear the gospel. to
And another
overhear
word
it.
you might need to know is Jesus, Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus te ama. Jesus loves you.
Jesus te ama.
Very good.
Jesus
You're
te
very
ama.
good.
Oh, I
with
like that. That's
Spanish.
very nice.
And God is love.
Okay.
Dios es amor.
Deus es amor.
Amor.
Amor. Now, amor sounds like another language, doesn't it? It sounds like
Yeah.
Italian or
But
French.
all the vowels in Spanish have one sound, and the A is always ah.
Ah,
Every
okay.
time
Ah.
you say an A, it's always ah.
Deus
Amor.
amor. All right.
Dios. Dios.
Amor.
Dios es amor.
Deus es amor.
And we have coloring books that we use, and our Bible stories are mostly
Uh-huh.
in Spanish and from the Bible. The stories are from the Bible, but
Okay.
we have lots of other books
I
here.
noticed those books. You know, I was thinking it's going to be, we're just going to have to come back and find out about this ministry in particular.
Yes.
So thank you so much. I like seeing all that. Now, I know you work with a clinic down here. How is this clinic a part of the larger ministry of the church? We've met a lot of ministers here today. How is this ministry like the ministry? How does it complement the ministry of the church?
Well, we are about sharing Christ with the whole community. So these Spanish-speaking people are a part of our community, and we want to reach them with the gospel. And one way we do that is through the clinic. We're not here for the first purpose is not medical attention. The first purpose is to know them and reach them with the plus comes to tell them about Jesus.
I see. And I see that you've got that looks like a Holy Bible right there. Is that
It
what that
is.
says?
Yes, Santa Biblia.
Santa Biblia. Oh, we're going to
Santa
learn so
Biblia.
much.
Yes.
Now, that brings up the next question I've got. Do you have to be a volunteer here, to be involved in here, what do you have to know?
Well, you don't have to know much about anything. You
Well,
just
good.
be willing. Be willing. If you want to be an interpreter, you have to know Spanish and English. But if you want to help as a volunteer, you can come and help take care of the children. We have lots of needs. Sometimes our children are 2 years old because they come with their mothers and they come with the grandmothers. So sometimes we have a room full of little children and big children and teenagers, and they bring their homework and they do their homework here at this table while they're waiting because it's a long wait. The mothers come and they have to come early to be triaged, and then they have to wait to see a doctor because we only have one doctor at a time.
Oh, my goodness. Well, one of the things we want to know is how can we pray for the Good Shepherd Clinic and the work of the Good Shepherd Clinic?
We need to pray for the people who work here, who volunteer here, for the doctors who give their time freely, and for the nurses who come and do all that work that needs to be done before they see a doctor. Also, pray for the outreach of the clinic to the Spanish-speaking people so that they can be involved in a Bible study. Our goal is to have a Bible study down here in the clinic area because they feel comfortable coming here. They don't feel comfortable going to First Baptist Church.
Right, because we speak a different
Right.
language, and that's tough. Well, Ms. Claire, thank you so much. And we're going to come back and see the rest of what you do and spend a little more time with you because I know, like Jean, sings in the choir, does some other things. You do some things not only in our church,
Yeah.
but with Hispanic folks all over our community.
Right.
So we're going to make a date to come back and see.
Good, good. Maybe
But-
I can teach you more Spanish.
Oh, I'd love to learn that. I'll teach you a little French because I knew that. Listen, I want to thank you for being here too. This has been a real special time to hear about some ministry that you can be a part of in your prayers and in volunteering, and it's a part of your church. So I want to thank you for being here. I want to invite you next week at 2 o'clock, Tuesdays at 2 for 20 minutes to hear a little bit about other ministers in the church and other ministries of our church. You'll be surprised, as you were surprised today. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Ms. Claire.